but it's no lie. All you can die. Never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side. Yeah, we in it for life. When I've been magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use it, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Get drown out my problems, let me When I've been magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the runner-up and Rookie of the Year balloting Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns as they match up with the longtime Raven Joe Flacco and his new team, the Denver Broncos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. Things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point, but boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, whatever promise they had to start the season fully evaporated now as they come in losers of 6 straight.
And sometimes when you're in the middle of a losing streak, being on the road is exactly what you want. You can only depend on each other. Let's see if they can use that as fuel in this ball game.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Baker Mayfield, the second-year quarterback from Oklahoma, will pilot this offense as the Browns get set for their first drive. the third leading rusher among rookies last year. It's Nick Chubb. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A second straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Here's Mayfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. But look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. This crew against the pass, it's been a real struggle. Second from the bottom in the NFL, number 31.
Theories abound. People have opinions. But too often for this team this season, it's been the big play that's done them in.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there at 22. So opening drive, third down. They complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end. The numbers for Njoku from a week ago: 13 catches, 126 yards, and a trip to the end zone as well.
You think the head coach and the offensive coordinator are able to pull the earplugs out now? Because all week, all they heard was, you know, Coach, they can't guard the pass at all. I mean, they're next to last in the league. Let's throw it on every down.
Yeah, last week we saw the numbers. This week going against second to last in the pass defense area. Good for him. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And again, it's Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 34-yard line.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? On 2nd and 10, Mayfield, and his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku, and that takes us from second to third down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that, but if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That time.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Let's get this all day.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To pass, Flacco. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards. On the play.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. You see what Riddick was able to do in last week's ball game. 16 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Flacco. And this one complete to Smith. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 41-yard line. Nice completion there by Joe Flacco, who's probably going to miss being able to play Cleveland twice a year. Gosh, in his 11 seasons as a starter in Baltimore, he was 17-3 against the Cleveland Browns, and now he'll try to get a victory in a Broncos uniform. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. Theo Riddick, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Theo Riddick with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light there. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go play action. Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Mayfield to throw it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now 14-0. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go!
There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they're just getting run up.
And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
It was Denzel Ward in from his corner spot there to take him down for the loss.
Number 53, Mike 53.
Now Riddick. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So on fourth down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. As the offense comes out, we put our Madden spotlight on Baker Mayfield. And I guess right now, as we look at some of his struggles today, the term next play really applies here. He's got to move on.
I love where your head is on that because that's where his head needs to be, exactly what you've said. Yes, there have been mistakes made, but he's got to move on and play the next play as if it didn't happen, keep his confidence up. But how about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've got to be feeling great about what's going on right now. They've already gotten to him a few times. They want to keep that up. Maybe they can pick off a few more.
Well, they disrupted already for 3 INTs. The Browns drive about to get started. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Mayfield. His throw incomplete. The tight end, David Njoku, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now, remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on fourth. They're going to try a second time. Throwing, Mayfield. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Brandon, I have one word for you after that completion for a first down.
Lucky?
Analytics.
Well, the analytics say punt the football there.
So we're changing to analytics as we go, right? What a big-time play for them. And really took a big-time chance.
Yeah, big-time first half chance. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The end result, 21 yards.
First down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mayfield with it once more. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Bradley Chubb make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and on the season now that is 9 sacks for him.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Normally I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
Oh, they should have already said, punt it, punt it. Head coach should have already made that decision.
Now the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down. To throw, Mayfield. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one.
Check 53's mark. Coming. Check 48.
This quick pass complete to Sutton. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Bootleg, Flacco. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Riddick. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Riddick with a carry. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And McManus able to put it through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good. Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy. And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference. Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was. I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Mayfield looks to throw. And he's got the hook up to Landry. Call that a very strong gain of 24. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment. No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much. To throw on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer. Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta. That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it. 3rd and long for Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. So 4th down coming up. What do you expect? They've gone for it time after time. They haven't punted yet. I don't know what's right anymore. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. And predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, it's Rennick. About 3 yards there to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check 24, check 24.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play.
If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Christian Kirksey coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th.
Well, maybe that can give them a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The kick by McManus is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. They begin this drive with Chubb. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now they got to get to the line quickly. A first down throw from Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on fourth. Now Mayfield on fourth down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Simmons. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll come out in a 4-receiver look, 3 men to the right side on 2nd and 6. Flacco. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech. No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. That is good, and that'll make it 20-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Joe Flacco and company heading back out onto the field. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the second quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles? I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. Oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction. Well, they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield? It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Christian Kirksey picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that? But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. That
Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. Remember, right now they are on a 6-game losing streak, trying to snap that. And a good sign is they've got the lead in the football. Setting up to throw, Flacco. Mack Wilson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
To try again after the sack. Flacco, this is the tight end Fant. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. 3rd and long for Joe Flacco. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. We remind you that coming up later tonight, we've got a good AFC battle in Baltimore. The Super Bowl champs, New England, in town to take on the Ravens. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys and the Giants from MetLife Stadium to wrap up this first weekend in November. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Mayfield down. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
They'll look to throw. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that will get him one closer. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now Flacco. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
20. And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Kirksey able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Landry now on the return. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. Mayfield now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The tackle there by Breanne Body Calhoun. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Mayfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 14. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Flacco looks to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. But now it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Flacco. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Kirksey in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Ryan Quigley now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Welcome back now to Denver as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now Landry. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you didn't mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down, as bad as you can be, 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Flacco. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go back to Reddick. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Noah Fant. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos push further out in front. Now Flacco will lead them up as they're going to go for 2. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the 4th quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? To throw, Mayfield. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. A toss play to Chubb. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
180. Check 45. Come on. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Now on 2nd and 16. Mayfield. He's got Njoku over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
180. Come on. You better bring. Kill. Regular.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And some strong running. There he goes left side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here, or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Fant, the first-round pick out of Iowa, taken 20th overall. Second tight end taken in the draft. Amazingly, the second Iowa tight end taken in the draft is teammate T.J. Hawkinson. 8th overall, he was selected by the Lions. But Noah Fant really wowed everyone in Indianapolis at the Combine, and now trying to parlay that into an impressive NFL career. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And to give this time to the tailback. And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the first down marker. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. Third down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to a first down.
Now Mayfield and the Browns. Down 28-21. A minute 17 remains. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on first down. Here's Mayfield. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Oh, I know it goes against the grain here. It totally goes against it, but you've got to drop the ball in that situation. He makes the catch, but he loses yards and doesn't get out of bounds.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mayfield. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Switch up, switch up.
Now Mayfield. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Bradley Chubb has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield.